Hi everyone, my name's Will Barlow and welcome to this short video for UIQ TV. The way we work has transformed radically over the last few years. In the post-COVID era, we've all had to adapt to different ways of working with our colleagues. For that reason, I'm delighted to welcome Ben from Citrix, who's going to talk to us today about some of the changes that Citrix have had to go through and develop their portfolio to help all their customers over the last few years. Ben, welcome.
Thank you very much, nice to be here.
So what have you been up to?
It's been an interesting year, I think, and Citrix, using the term Citrix is in fact interesting because of course now Citrix is a business unit within Cloud Software Group. And I think from our perspective, we had a period through the COVID time when we saw a significant uptick in people looking to enable remote work, but to do so in a very quick fashion. So we saw a significant increase in the demand for licenses. How can we get this up and running quickly? And that involved into conversations around how could they improve the things that they put in place very quickly to allow them to continue working through the initial stages of the pandemic. And then of course now the trend seems to be towards continual hybrid work. And now we're seeing people put in more rigor around the systems and processes that they put in place to allow people to work from home, but also to be able to work in the office 2 to 3 days a week. So I think that's the trend that we've seen. And through all of that period, of course, Citrix has undergone a transformation in itself, being privatized and combined with TIBCO to form what is now Cloud Software Group.
That makes a load of sense. And I guess with all these changes, and particularly with the hybrid working, making sure that end users have a great experience has probably been something you've had to really focus on. Would you mind talking to us a little bit about how the product's shaped and the direction you've gone around end user experience and all of that?
Yeah, absolutely. So end user experience has always been one of the pillars of our technology, and it's also something that sets us apart from some of the competition. Obviously, we've always worked closely with Microsoft, and the end user experience enhancements that we can provide to the likes of AVD are one of the significant reasons why we see customers choosing a solution that, for example, would combine both the Citrix technology and AVD technology from Microsoft. I think from an end user perspective, allowing them to work from home is one thing, providing a security layer around that is another thing, but if they're not having a good experience, they won't be as productive, they won't be as happy. And eventually that turns into a conversation around how to attract and retain talent in the marketplace today.
Yeah, sure. I can imagine even just a little bit of a bad experience. There might only be 10 or 11 seconds at scale across all of your workforce can make a big difference in terms of productivity.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, you and I would both know if you go onto a website and you're trying to do something, you're trying to log in and it doesn't work, or you're trying to make a purchase, if that doesn't work, you're quick to try another website, right? And you've wasted time, you've been ineffective. And I think when we look at it from a working from home perspective, we want that experience to be seamless for the workers, for the end customers of our technology.
So you mentioned there the kind of Cloud Software Group, and kind of what benefits do you feel that's really going to bring to the customers?
I think, the ethos of Cloud Software Group is to kind of get back to basics and really invest in innovation. And I think when we look at it from a traditional Citrix perspective, we've created a business unit within Cloud Software Group that's specifically aligned to the Citrix technologies, and their focus is to drive innovation in this space. So where previously we may have had some distractions with acquisitions that were made as an organization, we're now back to focusing on the core of what has made us successful over the years. And I think that's where customers will begin to see the benefit of the Cloud Software Group model as that innovation is released into our product set and the functionality that brings is rolled out into the end user community.
So can you talk to us about how you've been working with Ultima and the value that partnership's brought over the years?
As a part of the transition to Cloud Software Group, we've also changed the operating model. And a part of that has meant that we've pivoted to an increasing reliance on our key platinum partners like Ultima to deliver solutions, services and support to our end customer community. So I think the feedback that we're receiving from the partner community is that this new operating model provides a real opportunity for them to work more closely with us, to be more entrenched and ingrained in their customer base, and of course open up the potential for additional margin opportunities within that customer set.
Would you say that kind of depth of partnership in terms of not just purely partnering with people from a transactional purpose, but also from one of managed services and delivering actual outcomes at the end has been kind of a shift that you've made over the years?
Absolutely. I think, our focus now is not around selling licenses and then moving on. It's around driving customer success, and we can only do that in conjunction with partners like yourselves. It's about, providing the technology to the customer, but then supporting that customer on a journey to make sure that they're using it to the full extent, seeing the value come from that. And with our pivot towards being channel-centric, we're providing resources now to Ultima to allow you to be successful on that journey, driving our customers towards adoption, active use, and allowing them to achieve their business objectives.
So Ben, what would you say is the big overall trend that you're seeing at the moment within organisations?
One trend that I'm seeing is towards almost a hybrid environment for customers. So when I say that, I mean hybrid in a number of ways. Hybrid in terms of the way the end users work, split between office and remote, but also hybrid in terms of the way customers are deploying public cloud alongside on-premise based resources. And I think that's a trend that we are seeing, and I think Citrix and together with Ultima are very well placed to support customers in that hybrid environment, using the technology that we provide as part of the Citrix and NetScaler business units, and working with your skill set to drive successful outcomes in that regard.
Yeah, I see that a lot personally. I think from different applications, they might be really well suited to public cloud, some might be really suited to private cloud, and equally people are working at home and in offices now, so it feels like in general there's a complete hybrid state.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Ben.
Thanks very much for having me.
If you'd like to hear how Ultima and Cloud Software Group are working together to help customers transform their digital workspace, then please get in contact with Ultima.